box of raisins. Spit out the cardboard. I went to Chili's for a rubber hot dog. It was all rubber. My buddy went to pick me up. He had a 72 Mercedes. It was bright yellow, one headlight, one mirror on one side, and he had trash bags for windows. So he went to go to Coney Island to get some hot dogs. And we got pulled over. There was a cop. He said, Harold put down his trash bag and said, "What do you need, sir?" He said, "You can't have black trash bags for windows." He said, "Oh, okay. Well, it's my window tint. I got to pick up some litter. It's on the side of the road here." He gave him a ticket. So one day, my wife, she called me up and said, "Hey, you took the wrong chicken to work." I said, "Huh?" I said, "There's 2 chickens in the fridge, crispy and grilled." I took the grilled. My buddy had a microwave, and I went over to his house, and he said, "Hey, would you like some ham?" He opened up the microwave. I said, "Oh my gosh, how long has it been in there?" "Well, just a week." "No, thank you." So, my one buddy Harold was so hungry, he made a sandwich in the grocery store. He said, "I got the bread, I got the meat, I got everything I need to make a sandwich. I'll open up the pickles, I got the lettuce, tomato. I'm so hungry, I'll eat the sandwich." "Well, you gotta pay for that?" He said, "Yeah. I ate the sandwich before I made it to the register. And when I got there, the lady said, 'How am I going to ring this up?' He said, 'Just ring up the wrappers, you know.'" My wife told me, she said, "Hey, can you get an apple pie?" I was in my pajamas and slippers. I said, "Yes, I'll get an apple pie." You know. So I get in my car, I head to Target, and I'm looking for an apple pie. You know, I see one. It's with the other pies, and it's a fresh apple pie. I take it home, and I show the wife. I said, "Hey, I got you a fresh apple pie." She said, "I said frozen." I said, "I'll just put it in the refrigerator. I mean the freezer." And for our honeymoon, I'm sorry, it was Valentine's Day. So for Valentine's Day, I end up taking the wife out, you know, to a fancy restaurant, Monterey Bay. She said, "Hey, this place looks fancy." I said, "Yeah, the guy is waiting for us in a tuxedo with a bow tie. He's collecting keys. He's the valet parking." And we end up walking through the doors, and you know, everyone looking at us, and there was fish looking at us in the walls, and they had a golden elevator. It goes up to the 2nd floor. And we got up there and sat down, and the waiter said, "Would you like your menus?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You guys ate here before?" We said, No. And he said, "Oh, okay." He goes, "You need help with the menu, let me know." He left, and the wife got mahi. I think I got the cheapest thing on the menu, which was white cod. So I had to go to the bathroom. I figured go in there. There was another guy, suit, tie, and had the, you know, the cloth in his hands. He was ready for his tip. He got out, and I gave him the money real quick. It's like, okay. And yeah, I headed back down to my seat, and the food was there. And the guy, he was sweeping the breadcrumbs off the tablecloth. He said, in between meals, you get new silverware and everything. And I said, oh, wow. I couldn't believe it. So, it was a heck of a meal, but we got the bill. It was over $200 at the time. And I asked him if the swordfish went with it, on the wall. He said, no, it doesn't. I said, okay. He said, what's this? And I said, the bill, I didn't order this. He said, no, you got to pay that. I said, okay. So I paid it, and we hightailed it back out of there. And is there a shortage of shortcake? I'm smarter than my smartphone, smart bottle of water. I'm smarter than the smart fridge and the smart car. But I don't know if I'm smarter than the pack of Smarties in my back pocket that went to Harvard. I know a guy that cleans clocks for a living. Yeah. He's about 6'5", heavyweight boxer. Yeah. He doesn't work for Rolex. My wife always wanted a mansion. So I thought I'd help her out. Looked up 5 trailers. Thought I'd stack them up on top of each other. It's a mansion. There's a couple that had divorced, so I said cut it down the middle. The car, the house, the saw. The guy said, well, at least I want the front half, the car with the engine in it, and then she wanted the back half. So she said, well, I want the kitchen on my side of the house. I said, I got the 2-car garage, and it had a dog and a cat. So I figured, all right, we'll flip a coin. Who gets head? Who gets tails? So you got the head and the tail. And there was a handyman came around. We wanted to paint our fence. So he got dropped off with a couple paint buckets and drop cloths, and he said, "We're gonna paint your fence." Yeah. So we hired him, and I went in the house, and I looked out the window and was painting the fence. Then the wife says, "You might want to go outside." I don't think he pressure washed that fence. I said, "Oh my God." I went outside. He painted all the bugs and cobwebs in the fence. I said, "Oh my gosh." I said, "I'll give you one more chance." I said, "I have a deck in the back. Did you maybe go over, stain the deck?" He said, "Yeah, no problem." So he went on the deck. He painted himself into a corner. And I said, "How are you going to get out?" He said, "Well, I'll walk with my feet over into the paint." And then he had all the grass from the paint in his shoes. And he stood there like a statue with his paintbrush. I said, "Well, how are you going to get home?" He said, "Well, you're going to give me a ride." I said, "Well, you got to take off your shoes. That's the only way you go for a ride." And my wife gave him $20 to get out of there. Gee. I walked out of a full walk-in closet the other day, and I had an arm cramp one night, and reached down and on my feet, and I had no socks. I couldn't reach them. My arm cramped. It's kind of tied up, and we just moved into a place, so I had this light in my eye. It was coming through the towels we hung up on the curtain rods and with Dorito clips. And I managed to get up, and I said, I couldn't get out of bed, and I didn't want to wake up the wife, so I said, I guess I'll go to bed with my arm cramped and one sock. I'm afraid to fart near power outlets. You never know. Also, if you fart in a new car, there's also a new car smell. Comes with it. I cracked open the door. I burned my face on the dishwasher. My buddy got pulled over. He was going down a one-way road. Told the cop, he said, I can only go one way. There's a retired Google driver. He drove for self-driving cars. He tried to get a job at a bus garage hiring bus drivers, and he ended up trying to get a job for the bus drivers, and next thing you know, he couldn't even find his way out of the bus garage, let alone 30. So they had to fire him. They said he's only used to driving self-driving cars. This guy, he had a used car lot. He was trying to do hire this guy. He was a detailer. He said he did it for years. He was real good and everything. He had rags in his pockets and the back of his pockets. He said, I'll detail anything. He said, well, alright. He said, there's a long vehicle back there with curtains in it. Just pulled it in. And he said, that's a hearse. He said, yeah. He cleaned that out. So he said, okay. He went back, opened the doors, and, he ended up shutting the doors, and he got locked in the hearse. So he was trying to get out. He, moving the curtains and everything, and there was a guy inside the office that had a remote started up. He said, oh, the guy was trying to get out, and they let him out and everything. And he said, oh, Mr. Officer, I quit. I can't do it. He ran down the road and they never seen him again.